Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. We have a special edition coming to you live today, and welcome to the show, Whitney Carrion.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It is so great to meet you. I know we were kind of just like ships passing in the night in our former company. I'm sure we've been at the same trainings and events, but we just never crossed paths. And now we are sideline sisters in Amare, and we both started at the same time. And we are already collaborating. And what I love about this team is you do not have to make money off somebody to want to help them and lift them higher and just get to know them and link arms with them. And we don't directly impact each other financially, but we've already become friends and decided we want to just help each other's business and just help our entire team and family and community rise higher. So thank you so much for jumping on the show, but you agreed to be on the show before you even formally met me. So that shows me you have such a servant leadership heart. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't mind at all. I've kind of always applied that mentality to my business. I always feel like it's so great to hop on other people's network and have the conversations so that they can hear from all different people from different walks of life. You know, what I talk about may resonate with somebody in your audience, so why not?
I love it. So tell us your origin story. How did you end up in the profession of network marketing? How did you end up a brand director? I know you're also retired from the military. You're a mom. Like, just tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. So I actually got into network marketing about 12 years ago because I was a former three-time gym owner.
Oh,
Yeah, and I loved it. Brick and mortar businesses take all of you, but I loved it so much with a passion. And one of my gyms was right outside a main military installation in Kentucky. And that's how I met my husband. He's a soldier. He came into the gym.
what
And
gym was it? Were they private gyms? Were they franchises? What kind of
it was
gyms?
a CrossFit gym. So it was CrossFit Hard Knocks.
Oh,
And then we had another gym just in the neighboring local town where a lot of soldiers and even just civilians retired or lived. So we had one right outside the main gate. It was CrossFit Hard Knocks, and then the other one was CrossFit Elizabethtown. So it was in Kentucky. So if
right.
you know that area, that was my baby.
That was my dream to own a gym because I wanted to be in the health and fitness profession. I loved it so much. And I'm so glad I didn't own a gym and just went directly into network marketing because I was going to buy one in 2020, right before so many gyms went out of business.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm so glad that you were able to make that pivot. That was a big part of my passion in 2020 is I got really excited about helping gym owners and then just even health and fitness professionals in general pivot their business into the online space.
How
Because,
did you
yeah.
get out of the gym business and close it and segue into network marketing? And were you working a corporate job the whole time? When did that come into play?
So about 2 years into owning, being co-owner of the gym, I did segue into corporate, but I was working as a civilian for the Army Recruiting Command headquarters. So I was working in social media at that time. So that was
Mhm.
kind of like that's when social media kind of began a career for me. And when my husband and I got married, he, as the military does, he got a new duty assignment in Kansas. And so I was kind of faced with, do I try to run the gyms from afar, or do I just kind of like cut my losses and move on to something else? And I was like way too type A personality, and like learning how to pivot those type of businesses remotely just wasn't very abundant. It wasn't something that was very natural or normal, so it didn't feel easy to me. So I just sold my share of the gym to someone else, and then I moved on. And I was 9 months pregnant at a new military state duty station in Kansas, middle of nowhere. And that's when I got into network marketing, because I quickly realized there was a stigma around military wives, because we move every like 1 to 3 years. It's very hard to stay like in a corporate role. And so they're not always looking to hire somebody knowing right out the gate it could be short term, or that you are essentially like you're at the mercy of what the military wants to do with your family.
Was that your first baby?
It was, yes.
And now how many do you have?
I have two biological daughters, and then I have two older bonus babies, all girls.
And how old are they now?
So my biological daughters are 6 and 9 years old, and then my others are 24 and 20.
Nice. So when you found the industry 12 years ago, what company was that?
So I had gotten into Advocare.
Mhm.
It was a sports nutrition company back in 2012. So this was like right before I began, like, or right around when I began my gym ownership. But I didn't really like, it was just kind of this thing where I thought, okay, I'm going to recommend health and fitness to people. And I'm basically writing down all the supplements that I take in the gym and then sending my people to like GNC or whatever. So I might as well like just have a trusted supplement line that I can recommend for my clients. So I wasn't like super full time into it then, but when I had my first daughter, so that was like 3 years into me being into network marketing. When I had my first daughter, I was like, okay, how do I make this a full time? Because I just was like, I'm either passing my daughter off to another army wife to watch, or I can just earn money from home and still raise her.
Amazing. So then you went from Advocare to Modere.
Yeah, so Avocare closed its doors in May. It was May 17th of 2019. And it was a blindside, much like Modere was.
Mhm.
Um, but I will say, to Avocare's credit, they handled it so much better than Modere did.
Yes.
They let us know that it was going to be about like a 2 month progression, that they were going to remove essentially the multi-level marketing portion of it, and they were going to go direct to market so that we would have time to collect our paychecks. They even honored a trip that we had all, like a bunch of us had earned, to Banff, Canada. And in June, we went, even though the company had already like closed down May 17th, they still honored that, which I thought was so classy of them.
Yes, Modere's was a bit abrupt, right? It's kind of like a relationship where you get ghosted unexpectedly.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that's kind of the difference between a family owned business and then a private equity firm, where there's just a bunch of venture capitalists who put their money together and say, well, on paper, this isn't working. Let's just close up shop. You know what I mean? Versus a family owned business where they're like involved and they see that these are people's livelihoods that are going to change overnight when you make these decisions.
Yeah. And then after Modere closed, you were telling me before we hit record that you took 5 days to like 24/7 research all these different network marketing companies and work from home businesses. What was that like?
Yeah, so this, sadly, because of the situation with Avocare, this was not a new process for me. And
Mhm.
so I knew, okay, look, if I am going to do this again, I have to essentially poke holes into every single business opportunity that I'm looking into. And, but I also have the added pressure of needing to move quickly so that you can give your team an answer, you can give your customers an answer. Like, it's a lot. And so I know that I work best if I have all the conversations, I do all the Zooms, I do all the phone calls, I review all the comp plans. So it's 5 days, sun up to sundown, like dropping weight, not sleeping, like not doing exercises, like life just kind of halts. And so while 5 days seems like absolutely nothing for the average person, it was agony. But like, it was also exciting though, because even though that was tough, it presents an opportunity um to kind of have a reset. And I am somebody who loves a reset. I love a refresh,
Me
like I'm
too.
all about that.
I totally, it's, everything was a refresh for me because I moved from LA after living there 24 years back home to Cincinnati. I moved from a small 1,000 square foot condo to like my dream house. And then like a month later, Modere closes. So it's like, well,
Oh,
I guess I'm in a new era and a new chapter because everything is reset. And I love reset. I feel like change is the only constant variable of life. And it just keeps you learning. It keeps your neurons in your brain firing because they have to learn new things. So I really love it. So what made you, after researching 5 days in a row, 8 hours a day, every comp plan, every product, every owner, every team, what made you choose Amare and this team that we're on together?
yeah, of course. So, I will tell you this, that when Modere closed its doors, I let myself focus on two options essentially. I was like, we're either going to continue on this path and find something that checks all the boxes, or we're done. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna and I didn't think like done forever done, but like wait for a new season, wait for a different company, wait for the economy to level out. You know what I mean? So I want to preface it that way first. Like I didn't have to personally financially like make a move, but I was like, I have teammates that would like that. I have all these customers that I have built 12 plus years of relationships with, and they've trusted me to steward their health and fitness. And anytime there was a change, they I was very open and honest with them. I was always transparent. Like when we pivoted from Advocare to Modere, like I said, hey, if you still love these products, you can order direct to consumer. I love
Mhm.
you. I appreciate you. I spent all these years getting you hooked on these products. I totally understand. Like, that's okay. And I had some people who decided, like, we really love these products. We still want to order from the company, right? And that's totally fine. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to be able to present that, but without any like hitches. I
Hmm.
didn't want to go from Modere, which I felt like had such clean, powerful, good supplements, and then be like, well, here's like the lesser option. That was really, I was like, I am tasked with finding equivalent or better of those products, and I felt like that was going to be so hard with the science, the technology, everything. And then on top of that, I need to make sure that my people, that they were called social marketers, here we're called brand partners, that they could pivot over here and win quickly. Like, not easy, not some get rich scheme, but like get quick wins.
Yeah.
So I wanted to first preface that by saying it's not like it was a small undertaking. Like, it's not like, so I recognize the magnitude and the weight of that. And I just was so unwilling to compromise on those specific areas when searching out the potential next opportunity. And so, the one thing I can say to your question, Rebecca, is that success leaves clues.
Mm.
And the receipts at Amare were black and white, simple to read. And the success receipts were there. And so, actually, what it came down for me was our team versus the company as a whole.
Okay. And so how did you end up with the team that we're currently on?
Yeah, so Christina Whiteley, who we both know and love, and we
Yep.
just found this out, um, was a dear friend of mine for all 4.5 plus years that I was with Modere and beyond when she came over here to Amare. One of my favorite character traits about Christina, and this is why she and I get along, is she's an easy friend. And what I mean by that is you don't have to tiptoe around her. You never feel like you're on eggshells. She will tell you the transparent truth even if it doesn't benefit her. She'll never try to spin things. Like, she will just have those black and white conversations with you, and you don't have to like I said, you don't have to dance around it. You don't have to worry about hurting her ego, or like you can just say it and she will appreciate that. And so she was the very first person, or one of the people whose message I actually opened. I don't know about you, Rebecca, but when Modere went down, my inbox got full. My
Oh
phone never
yeah.
stopped dinging. Like, whew.
Yes.
So, yeah, Christina, I knew, loved her, trusted her, and she was like, we should at least have a conversation. And I said, 100% for you. I will get on a phone. I will get on the Zoom. I just hadn't even gotten around to it yet. And so, um, I knew that anything and everything she would present to me, um, would be full truth.
Mm.
And I knew I could ask her the hard questions without her hesitating to give me hard answers that maybe wouldn't appeal to me. And what I saw first that struck me was, I do remember when she left Modere, and it was like, so she had been over here at Amare for about a year and a half. And I remember her leaving Modere, and she was like 37 weeks pregnant, something like that. Remember, she was ready. She was pretty close. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, and I remember thinking in my brain, like, oh, good God, like this girl's gonna start over at ground zero while pregnant, like not even just pregnant, like ready to pop. Like the emotions of that, and just thinking of the weight of that, like gave me so much anxiety.
Isn't that what you
But
did when you started in this industry?
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, but I hadn't really seen the success that Christina had seen, and then
Yes, so
decided
true.
to walk away and start over. Like that's a whole, like that's different cojones that you need for that.
Yes,
Like that,
yes.
I mean,
And to do
so
that pregnant. Yes, absolutely. So, so what did she say on that call that made you want to jump?
I had been watching her success when she joined there pregnant. And I remember watching her success explode, um the same like week that she went into labor. And because I'll never forget her sharing the video of her husband eating a sandwich while driving to the hospital while she was pregnant. And he's like, hey babe, I made you some food and blah blah blah. And she's like, I don't care, like she was in active labor. And then at the same time that that's like happening, I'm watching her page blow up and all of her ranks explode. And I was like, how? And so I said to her, right out of the gate, I was like, look, I am looking for Jesse Lee style systems. I um
We love
I
her
had been
on the
right.
show.
So I had been, I don't know if you know this or not, Rebecca, but I was being mentored by Jesse Lee for about a year and a half, leading up to her unfortunate passing.
Oh,
So
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you were that close to her and had to watch her pass. That's so heart-wrenching. Like the whole thing is just so sad and you were just up close and personal. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that huge loss. She was such a light and such a just maverick for this business.
Maverick is such a good way of explaining it. She was such a light. I know that she was somebody who got a lot of hate too, but like that's just from people who didn't know her, or people who just were envious of her success. Because when you get to know her on the level that I did, and I didn't even know her on the level that a lot of her personal circle did, she was phenomenal. And undisputedly a brilliant businesswoman. And
Brilliant.
so I was like already filled with all this education and this posture of I can't settle for anything less now. Like I can't go backwards because I've got all this. And so what Christina showed me actually, was she got me on a call with Julia and Mandy, actually, Julia Thornhill and yeah, Mandy Esklin. And because Christina was like, listen, I'm about to go camping with my family. Like, yes, I know. We're going camping in Mexico. She's like, do you care if you hop on a Zoom with these girls? Because I got family time. And I'm like, of course. You know what I mean? Like, I understood that. I
Yes.
loved that she prioritized family, even though it was in the middle of this huge shakeup. And so I was like that was kudos for her. And then when I got on this Zoom with Mandy and Julia, who I've never met from Adam, They showed me systems. They showed me automation. They showed me that this team ran like a corporation, its own corporation within the company. And I was like, this is why everybody was so attracted to Jessie Lee, besides her magnetism, her personality, her fun, was because that woman knew business and she knew how to set things up so that people could win.
Yes.
She was like, it was like she had a PhD in people, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I saw they basically pulled back the curtain like the Wizard of Oz, and they showed me that they had all of these systems in place and that they had appointed people within the team to basically be part of leadership and tackle different things. And I'm like, yes, for coming from people who were burnt out, just got their worlds rocked with Modere, questioning whether the industry is even worth it anymore, I knew that I would have to have something that powerful, that simple, not easy, that simple for anyone to even like be able to get past the hurt, the heartache, the frustration, the burnout of what just happened. And I knew if it wasn't something this powerful, I would be in a convincing position, and I didn't want to be in that position.
What is your favorite system that Amare has?
Well, it's not, we can't really say that it's a Mari system
Right.
because it's more like Team Elite system
So
that they have
what
created.
is Team Elite's your favorite system? And I'll tell you mine.
Yeah. I love that every single week they have opportunity calls. Every single week they have brand new launch partner calls to help somebody get set up. And it's just like a nitty gritty, here's how to work all of our systems, because for
Mm-hmm.
people who want systems, if you get in and you have no clue what you're doing with them, it's can be overwhelming. And then I love every single week they also have what we call the building champions call, right? And that is like mindset. It is like technical skill training. It's how to talk to people. Like I love that it's opportunity, helping new people launch, and then personal development. That is what it's every week. Somebody's running it. There's always
Yeah.
something to plug into, and all we have to do is invite. So that's my favorite.
I love that. I do love the regular opportunity Zooms. I do love, my favorite is the Building Champions call, because someone can like, kind of like how you build your day around your workout. You
Yeah.
can build your day around that call, and you know you're going to get your mindset, you're going to get your tech support, social media strategy, community,
Yeah.
feeling like you're not at home doing this by yourself. So I think the fact that they have that every day, Monday through Thursday, and then corporate does a training call on Friday, like there's just so much community and support. And that's what I really love. I think that making money is a team sport. And the more community and the more people you have pouring into you, like the better it's going to be and the more fun it's going to be. And that's what people want. I mean, having a job is like, can be so hard and such a drudgery and like high pressure. Like I feel like this industry and the way the culture of this team is really fun.
I couldn't agree more. But I also know that there's people who are attracted to different things when it comes to network marketing. I
True.
like the community.
Whoops, she froze. So hopefully she'll come back. If not, thank you so much for watching this show. We are so happy you're here. And if you're interested in having a bigger life, I don't know if you want more friends, more community, more money, more energy, more health, more leverage, retiring earlier, just comment more below or DM me more, and I will send you some information about what Whitney and I are so excited about. And you have been listening to another episode of the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. And until we meet again, keep your vibe high and magnetize. Thanks, everyone.